Hi everybody, it is Friday afternoon and it's time for Cooking with Carolina. Thank you for being here. I'd like to thank the Library Friends of Oak Bluffs for sponsoring the cooking show every Friday. Thank you very much. I'm very excited about tonight's cooking. We are going to make ahi tuna poke with avocado. And I love poke. I'm so excited to make my own poke. I used to get poke from this store in California when I lived there, and it was so good. It was at Bristol Farms, had the best poke. So we'll see how this compares. So first we're going to make the sort of marinade. So we're going to start with 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. And it specifically says not low sodium. So I have some tamari here, and it is not low sodium tamari, so I hope that fits the bill. It is really, really hot in my house, so if you see me sweating, that is why. All right, there. 3 tablespoons of soy sauce or tamari. I know, poke, it's awesome. And actually it takes very little of the fish, so it's really not that expensive to make either. Especially compared to buying poke in the store, which is, it's more prevalent now, you can find it more places, but it's still pretty expensive. So now we have 1 tablespoon Asian sesame oil. I am using some toasted sesame oil because that's all I could find at the Stop and Shop in Vineyard Haven. So it'll do. Plus I like the toasted, it has a nice rich flavor. It smells really good. One tablespoon vegetable oil, kind of a surprising addition, but okay. 1 tablespoon. And it says plus more for greasing. Greasing, you say? Why, yes. We'll get to that later. Okay, now 1 tablespoon drained and minced pickled ginger. All right, so I have my pickled ginger here. We'll try to guesstimate what a tablespoon will be once minced. Squeeze it out a little to drain it. That looks about good. Look out now. She's got a knife. Poke is such a perfect summertime meal. It is delicious and light, and I always called poke brain food. Sushi in general I think of as brain food. I feel like every time I eat it, I get at least 4 IQ points smarter. Oh, that was a gnarly sound. I don't think I'll be doing that again. That was like nails on a chalkboard. Okay, maybe I'll do it one more time. All right, so my guess was really pretty right on. I am impressed. So that's about a tablespoon of the minced pickled ginger. Now 1 tablespoon fresh lime juice from 1 lime. Ooh, I'm excited I get to use a special kitchen tool for this. The reamer. Now, I am not measuring, and this is a really juicy lime, so I'm just going to do half of it because I am sure that is a tablespoon. That also smells very good. 1 tablespoon seeded and minced jalapeno pepper. So we're kicking up the spice in this. Now it doesn't say anything about roasting it. So I guess if you wanted to alter the flavor a little, you could do that. But we will just take it as is. And a tablespoon will probably be the entire jalapeno. Now make sure you wash your hands after touching a jalapeno. And get all the seeds out of the way so I don't end up mincing those in there. The last thing I made with jalapenos was a little spicy. Now I'm mincing it up pretty fine. Alright, that looks about good. Now, I think we're pretty right on as far as our tablespoon goes. Yep, perfect. Okay, now a teaspoon and a half of sugar. I would never think to put sugar in with fish, but I do what it tells me to. Alright, so there's 1.5 teaspoons of sugar, and now a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. Ooh, which even that seems like a lot. That's gonna be spicy. Okay. And 2 scallions, the white and green parts, thinly sliced. So it doesn't give a precise measurement for this. It just says 2. And I should say that this recipe comes from a cookbook that's called Once Upon a Chef, the cookbook. And this is actually the cookbook that is for our next cookbook club. So you could download this title from Hoopla using your library card. And I'm happy to help you if you need help. And you can download it on Hoopla and as an ebook and pick a recipe to make, and then we can all talk about it at the next cookbook club. There are a lot of really good sounding recipes in it, so I'm looking forward to making a few from it. Okay, so now we will whisk this together. It does smell really good. You can especially smell that sesame oil. And also it says that this recipe serves 4 to 6. So now we will take our sushi grade ahi tuna from the net result. On our cutting board. This we will dice. And you'll want a sharp knife, of course, to cut your fish like a pro. Not that I'm claiming I'm a pro. As you can see. Probably should have sharpened my knife before cutting it. Is pretty fragile. It comes apart fairly easily, especially if you have to do any sawing motion. Okay. So you're making sort of 1 centimeter cubes. We're going metric. Okay. So now we have all our diced tuna, and we can go ahead and put that in our sauce. Then I'm going to rinse off my hands. Actually, I'm going to rinse off the knife as well. Okay, now we are also taking 1 large avocado, and we are dicing this up as well. You can actually sort of dice it right in its shell, skin. And squeeze it out. Chop up any of the larger pieces that remain, which aren't really much. Then we'll do our other half. That out. Alrighty. And I'm a little weird. I rub the rest of the avocado into my skin, and I'm convinced that it makes my hands more youthful. I don't know if it actually works, but it seems to feel good on my skin. Okay, so now, right before serving, which is now, we are going to take a rubber spatula, as such, and put in the avocado. And now we are to gently mix this all together, taking care not to smush the avocado. So it's kind of interesting. I really thought that the recipe would tell us to leave the tuna sitting in this marinade, like overnight or something, but it doesn't. You actually are supposed to only put in the tuna right before you serve it. Okay, so you can see here, we are mixed. Make sure your avocado that you're using isn't too ripe, because that would definitely be a little more difficult when you're mixing, not too smushy. Now, we will lightly grease a round 1 cup measuring cup. So here's where that extra bit of oil comes in. Just lightly grease that up and let's dispose of the rest. Just lightly. And, ooh, these are, find a perfect serving dish. Now, pack half of the tuna and avocado mixture in the cup. To form a tower. Okay, well, I have packed it in there. And it should slide out easily. Oh, so it does. Now mine seems a little extra juicy to stay together, but you can still see. Look, it's our beautiful tower. of our ahi tuna poke. So let's give it a taste test. The tower is falling apart. Okay. Here we go. Well, I will say it's outrageously fantastic. You can taste every ingredient, even the sugar, which it's not overwhelming or gross. It kind of needs it to balance all the rest of the flavors. It's really, really good. Really good. Another one I highly recommend. So, if you would like the recipe, I am happy to provide that to you. Just leave a comment and I can give it to you. And as usual, thank you for joining me here on Cooking with Carolina. Another successful show. Yay! And I don't know, it doesn't say anything about chilling it. It says to serve it immediately. Ooh, and there's some of the heat coming on. Serve immediately with small spoons for scooping. And you can also serve it with some rice crackers if you would like to. I like it straight up, but on rice crackers I'm sure would be good as well. So thank you for joining me. Please come again next week. Same time, same place. Bye.